Welcome, professional wrestling fans, to the PW Fan. This is episode 191. This podcast is for wrestling fans by wrestling fans. I'm your host, Talk Wrestling, Tim Gilbert, and joining me is...
And I'm your host, the architect of Pro Wrestling Podcast, Booker Andy.
Well, the no-selling indie wrestling fan, Jeremy, is off tonight. He's a little under the weather, so... the Forrester brothers will be taking over this show. We're taking over, in the words of the BWO, Stevie Richards. Andy, what do you got for us tonight?
All right, this week we're going to be talking about all things AEW, and this week was a go-home show for WWE, so it was a go-home shows for Saturday night's main event, and so we'll be talking and covering that in full.
All right,
so let's get right into it.
Well, hang on. Before we get right into it, and I am ready, as you are, as we all are. Please follow us on YouTube at the PW Fan Pod. Hit that subscribe button; really helps us out. And for all other social media, TikTok and Instagram mainly, just look up at the PW Fan and ProWrestlingTees.com / the PW Fan if you want to rock a T-shirt. All right, now we can get right into it. Let's roll.
All right, Dynamite this week. Dynamite and Collision, I believe, both had Halloween theme. They do this every year. WWE sometimes does it, but like when everyone is dressed as like characters or just in costumes, you know.
My favorite Halloween WWE memory is the one from, I don't know, maybe it was 2002 or 3. They're all backstage. John Cena's wearing the Vanilla Ice costume, and he's rapping to Stephanie McMahon in the back, and she's loving it. But I remember Billy Kidman behind him going in like a vampire costume, being like, "That's awful, that's terrible." Meanwhile, a dude becomes the biggest star ever in wrestling.
I did have a favorite costume this week on Dynamite, and it was by Chris Statlander.
Dynamite.
She was dressed as Goku Black.
All right, well, any Dragon Ball Z references immediately, you're going to win my heart over.
Yeah. She was dressed as Goku Black with the gray tunic and the red belt and white boots.
When the New Day came out at WrestleMania wearing the Saiyan costumes, that was I was a fan immediately.
Rhea one year was dressed in Saiyan armor as well.
I remember that. Again, another great reference. I love that Dragon Ball Z is like just appreciated through.
Well, because now the guys that grew up on Dragon Ball Z are wrestlers.
Yeah, we all are the same age. We all grew up watching Toonami. Fucking Dragon Ball Z is awesome. And if you don't think Dragon Ball Z is awesome, something's wrong with you.
All right, so let's get right into it. So, opening match, Trick or Treat Tornado Tag, Darby Allin and Orange Cassidy versus Wheeler Yuta and Daniel Garcia. Winners were Allin and Orange Cassidy. Darby Allin locked in the Scorpion Deathlock on Yuta. So I guess Darby's not done with the Death Riders. This is still continuing. I thought it would be over with. Backstage, Penelope Ford is out indefinitely with a torn UCL, and her partner Megan Bayne will now team with Marina Shafir in the women's tag team tournament.
Such a physical style. I mean, and not just in AEW, but it's always a torn UCL, ACL, shoulder, meniscus. It's crazy, dude. Speedy recovery.
Did you see?
Wishing her a speedy recovery.
Did you see any of this Don Callis family summit? Did you see any clips online?
No. Do you have any insight onto it? I did not see it. I apologize.
So, like, Don Callis in the past, like, every time he does some big thing, there's, like, some new weird painting where he's, like, the front guy. I'm sure you've seen some of the ones. There's one where he almost looks like naked.
A couple. Yeah, well,
yeah.
I've seen that one.
So since the Don Callis family is like so big now, Don Callis family is like so big now. Some guys are hurt. They like revealed all of them are out there that aren't injured or could be there. They said Takeshita couldn't fly in, so they reveal a new painting, and then it turns out Takeshita ends up coming out, and he gets in Okada's face during this, and Don Callis tries to because obviously they've been having tension between the two for a while now, and they get in each other's face. Don Callis tries to calm him down and gets them to shake hands. Takeshita puts out his hand, and Okada just gives him the finger slowly, and then Takeshita wants to start fighting him and stuff, and Don Callis says something like, you were the first I brought in, but you'll be the first I take out. Don Callis is like the Paul Heyman of this. Just the family revolves around him, unlike the bloodline that didn't revolve around him. And it's just so funny that it's his like thing.
It just feels like they're like trying to do that, but it just doesn't hit as hard.
Well, he's obnoxious. People still chant like "fuck Don Callis" during like matches that he's at ringside.
Okay, but like, is that good heat, or is that?
It's like, more like the fun heat that's like just fun to get in on the joke.
No, is it fun heat or is it go away heat? Like, go away. We don't like you. You kind of suck.
All right. So after that weird Don Callis family segment, obviously it's going to be Takeshita versus Okada at some point. I don't think it's been announced, but I think the next pay-per-view is Full Gear, which we always mention was our first AEW pay-per-view. And only one we ever went to, actually. But it was our first AEW show in Baltimore.
We had a great time.
Okay. Yeah, good times. Okay. So after the summit, we had a four-way number one contender tag team match. FTR, Young Bucks, Jet Speed, Jurassic Express. Winner earns a AEW tag team title shot at the upcoming pay-per-view, which I said I believe is Full Gear. Winners were FTR. Then we had a four-way number one contender for the AEW World Title, or title shot. It was Samoa Joe versus Hook, who, they at one point were part of the same family, not family, but group, the Ops. Hook's been on his way out. So Samoa Joe versus Hook versus Bobby Lashley versus Ricochet. I would have thought it'd be cool for Bobby to get a title shot, but no, they're redoing Samoa Joe and Hangman again. Samoa Joe submitted his own old buddy Hook with a coquina clutch.
I wish Samoa Joe was doing more, but as long as he's on TV and doing stuff, I guess that's good.
Well, what was cool after this, so when it went off the air, Tony Schiavone got in the ring to do an interview with Samoa Joe, and he's wearing the Phantom of the Opera mask, the white, right. But it gets revealed that midway through Samoa Joe's promo that it's actually Hangman dressed as Schiavone with the Phantom of the Opera mask, and they were pumping in Schiavone's vocals through the microphone, and it had me fooled until it got revealed. And then they started brawling. It was kind of cool. Now I don't know if this is an actual pay-per-view coming up, and I hope this isn't.
Can you send me, if you find that on YouTube? Can you send me that? Because I'm curious how they pulled that off.
Yeah, it was cool. I had to rewind and make sure that no one switched out or anything. But
that actually sounds like, I want to give them credit. A pretty innovative, cool idea.
Yeah,
they pulled that.
It was cool.
So send me that clip.
I will. But I said Full Gear was next, but and this is a televised, so I don't consider it a pay-per-view. But Blood and Guts is coming up, and it was revealed that it's going to be Orange Cassidy's team versus the Death Riders. I think his team is going to have Darby Allin on it, some of the conglomeration Kyle O'Reilly, probably Mark Briscoe, and a couple others. But we might find more out on that once I get into Collision, which I'm getting into right now. So opening match, not opening match, not much to talk about actually with that one. It was Bowens and Max Caster teaming up again because they've been trying to force this tag team back together against Big Bill and Brian Keith. But Big Bill and Brian Keith landed the pinfall for the win. Then we had match 2, because Collision's more actual wrestling than storyline driven stuff.
Which originally I feel like when
we liked.
Punk was there, that was It kind of feels like the SmackDown back in the day.
Yeah.
Like SmackDown had more wrestling.
Now I'm like, I kind of feel about it how I feel about Rampage when Rampage was a thing.
Well, that's unfortunate.
Because Collision became Punk's show, right? So we were like, oh yeah, if you watch Collision, you get Punk. They were separating people.
Yeah.
So match 2, we had Kudo.
Sometimes I just sit and I reminisce about the glory days of AEW, and I'm like, what a time. That and Black and Gold NXT, 2 golden eras.
Well, fuck. The market. I think my fucking notes are wrong, dude. I think they're from like the week before. Let me just check real quick. Bleacher Report. Not notes for the whole thing, just for Collision. That's why I don't want to get too far into it.
We could just skip it. I mean, God, honestly.
See, it got it from the 11th. No, I want the fucking October what? November 1st? Here we go.
Wednesday.
Yeah. People are still dressed in stuff. We're just gonna skip it, man. Or no, you know what? I'll just say that the Blood and Guts match is set.
You gotta text Jeremy all this stuff.
Yeah, I will.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm gonna mark it. All right, so most of my Collision notes are messed up, but what I do know is that I talked a little bit about before. Blood and Guts is set, and I now know the members of it. So it's Jon Moxley, Claudio, Pac, Wheeler Yuta, and Daniel Garcia facing Darby Allin, Mark Briscoe, Orange Cassidy, Roderick Strong, and Kyle O'Reilly. Kyle O'Reilly's been crushing it lately on AEW. They've been putting him in a nice spot in some good matches. Like his match, I think the week before, it was Kyle O'Reilly versus Kyle Fletcher, was really good. Both two really good athletes. So, all right. So not much for AEW. You know, some of it was gimmicky. Some of it was just matches. I didn't think it really pushed anything too crazy this week. Again, the biggest story is Blood and Guts is established, and we're slowly moving forward in the women's tag team tournament. And then Samoa Joe and Hangman are going to go for the belts yet again. That's kind of where we're at right now. But let's get into Raw. So like I said, WWE this week was like go home shows, so I'll try to go through this quickly. Raw opened up with CM Punk and Jey Uso face to face. If you follow us on Instagram, I posted some clips from that. Jey Uso's trying to be serious, and Punk's just being dead.
Yeah, but I did think, you know, like Jey did pretty good in this promo in the back and forth. He held his own.
Look, I can kind of get down with the heel Jey Uso. I just fucking.
Well, he's just, again, we've touched on this. You know, I'm 35. I can't remember how old you are. You're my younger.
32, bro.
I'm like 32, 33. Look, we're getting to that age where it's like you can't tell me that you remember everything about me. But it's like one of those things where I'm like, he's just not for us, you know. But the younger generation loves him. You know, I feel like if this was more of like a Gen Z leaning podcast, people would be like, "Yo, Jay's sick."
I feel like you and me, and I compare this to this. Like, I feel like you and me were like, at the time when Cena was gaining popularity, we should have been the ones like wanting to see Cena, but we weren't.
I rejected it because I think we both did, because even for being, look, I was 12 and you were 9.
I would have been 9 if you were 12, yeah.
You know, 9, 10. It's like we had already been listening to like actual rap music, you know, people that like weren't terrible. So
yeah, but once I kind of liked him during that phase. I didn't like him once he became the Chain Gang.
What, like, are you saying, like, which era are you talking about? Like, do you think
So I
you
kind of
should have
liked
liked him?
Cena a little bit, like when we saw, or like when he won like the United States Championship at.
Well, when he was doing the rap battles and roasting people, that's when everything started turning. Like when he
Yeah.
started making fun of everybody, that's when he became funny, and I was like, okay, now I like him. But like, which when you were saying we should have liked him, which era are you talking about?
When he started like feuding with Edge and really started being that uh, super
I
baby face.
I
And he was
mean,
doing he was like the soldier guy, like
but that's the problem. I was already like before that, like I had already
you're like
been like,
HBK, bro. Fuck John Cena.
well, I was watching DX HBK telling people to suck it. You and I were renting old videotapes. Like we were too deep in. I was like,
We were
nah, I don't
watching
like
like
him.
we were like guys that had been watching for it, which we kind of had
I
since
mean,
like late '90s.
at one point, you and I were like, we're gonna be wrestlers, so we were watching it like very seriously. So like, it's funny. Like, I think with Cena, I just was like, nah, I don't buy into this because we were like kids, but I think we got real deep into it, you know.
You know what it was for me? And Cena brought it up when he went heel in a promo, or I think the night after he went heel. He's like, and I won, and I kept winning, and I won a lot. Like
Oh, he's so
that's what made me fucking hate him, dude.
I thought about you when he said that actually because I remember you specifically being like, I hated John Cena because he
That's
just
why I
won.
stopped watching. Yeah, that's he's like kind of the reason I stopped watching. Besides like skateboarding taking over like my entire life, like
No
that
one wants
it wasn't
unless
fun
you're
anymore.
unless you're from Los Angeles or you're from New England, nobody wants the New England Patriots to win the Super Bowl. Nobody
Hmm.
wants the Dodgers to win the World Series. It's just it gets to the point where you're like, I don't want to see it anymore, and that's kind of how it
But
was with Cena.
when he went away, I liked him coming back these past couple years. Every once in a while,
Well,
face
no.
Roman,
Well,
you
here's the
know.
thing: nostalgia hits, right? Like the older you get, you nostalgia is fun. So you and I love Cena now, but he was fun to hate back then,
Hmm.
like kind of in the anti way, like in the
There's two examples that I'll give you when
like
you're
in a
done.
country, like in a contrarian type of way. Like
Hmm.
everybody loved him, but I was like, I don't like him. He sucks. He was, and it wasn't just us; it was tons of other people.
So it's like there's two things. So like when Seth Rollins was the architect, got hurt, he was the bad guy, right? But when he was gone, I was like, oh, he was a good bad guy. I want him to be back, and then he came back, right? But another one I specifically remember is like when I kind of got back into wrestling, I was like, man, you know who I miss? Kurt Angle. But I didn't appreciate him when he was like really around.
Yeah, but then you go back and you're like, God, he was so good.
He was a machine.
I mean, you know
Uh,
what's crazy, and I don't want to go on a long side tangent, but you watch Angle, Eddie Guerrero, Dean Malenko, and I know it's controversial, but Chris Benoit, and you're like, God, dude, these guys just had a crazy style for 20 some years.
mhm.
They were just going hard, and
Well, they
they
would
were
hold
just,
up to this day too. Yeah.
and not Dean, at least I don't think, but the rest of those three guys were just roided to the gills, just fucking jacked. It was crazy.
All right, let's keep going forward after this. Somehow we talked about Jey Uso and then we got into all that. Um, so first match of the night was Penta versus Rusev, which ended in no contest because of interference from Los Americanos, which means the Americanos. Penta, uh,
It makes me think
yeah,
of coffee every time.
what Starbucks coffee.
Yeah, and a grande americano.
See, all three Americanos were out there at one point. They brawled, and the match was thrown out. Um, this then would lead to, because of this, it would lead to a match at Saturday night's main event. But we'll talk about that. Nikki Bella faced Roxanne Perez. Um, I believe Nikki Bella ended up beating Roxanne. For some reason, I thought she lost, but my notes say otherwise. So, but I texted this in our group chat. I was like, I have no end date anymore of when this Nikki Bella run. I thought it was just like a one-off, and then she just kept coming back and kept coming back, and like maybe she just is like, I know my role now, and she's feeling it just fine of like helping younger talent.
I mean, good for honestly. I give her a lot of respect because look, like she might not be the best, like she's not the best worker in the world or whatever, but she did break her neck, and I'm sure she has lots of money, and the fact that she still wants to do this, like I'm, I'm as a fan, I'm like, nah, you're a badass. That's cool because she
Mm-hmm.
doesn't have to. She broke her neck. So like it's like she obviously likes this or loves it
Mm-hmm.
or she wants to be here.
Yeah. Um. Okay, then we had Braun Breaker versus LA Knight. Braun Breaker would win due to interference from Bronson Reed, which helped Breaker. Then we had Sheamus versus JD McDonough, two Irishmen. Dude, JD's so great. I know Punk is like a big JD fan. I was really trying to watch him this match, and I liked him a lot like beforehand, especially like NXT and NXT UK, where I was like the only person in the world
No,
watching NXT UK.
he's an automatic legend no matter what, just because of that crazy bump that he took where he got
Oh
hurt.
yeah.
I mean, if you can't give that man like respect for that, whatever. That he's a badass.
I wonder if I can. Um, Punk called, yeah. So Punk at one point called JD McDonough an exceptional professional wrestler. I don't know where he said it. I don't know. I think he might have said it on like commentary one night, but um, Punk has high praises for him, and if you just watch his work, he's very fucking good. Trained by Balor, um, a lot of good stuff come from him. But yeah, Sheamus would end up winning. Balor was at ringside.
Didn't Finn have a hand in training Becky too?
Mm-hmm. That was her first school because his school was in Ireland.
It's crazy, man. The guy's,
Yeah.
has it. So, he looks so young, but he's done a lot.
Yeah. Main event was women's tag team championship match. Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss retaining against Bayley and Lyra Valkyria. Afterwards, Asuka and Kairi Sane attacked all the women in the ring, showing that they want next for the titles. So that was Raw. SmackDown was like a super go home show. It felt like, starting with the opening segment, which is like short and weird because it couldn't really get physical because they're protecting Tiffany because Tiffany's actually hurt. So it was just like it was like a quick like mic promo. Jay Cargill came out just like Catwoman from Batman Returns. Tiffany, I don't remember what she was dressed up as, but again, this was on actual Halloween. And so they were just trying to move this storyline, but the opening segment to me fell flat. Ilya Dragunov defended his U.S. Championship in the Open Challenge. This match was very good. He faced Nathan Fraser, who is part of the tag team group Fraxium. Nathan, I've said in the past, trained
Frazier or Frazier?
Fraser. Frazer, like laser, but Fraser.
Okay, but not Frazier.
No, not IER.
But baby, I hear the cooler calling.
Not Frazier.
Selling cram booties.
Nathan's, I think he's either Welsh or English, but he went to Black and Brave Wrestling Academy. But as he was making his entrance, Tommaso Ciampa came out, and he was showing that he wanted his match on himself, but match has already been booked, so he got sent back to the back. Dragunov, though, hit the H-bomb for the win, and after the match, Ciampa came back out, knocked out Fraser from behind. So, look, I'm all for him splitting from DIY and doing more singles run like in NXT. Ciampa, him and Goldie, Ciampa was a good character in NXT
I
during
know,
the.
but dude, that was 10 years ago, and it's like, how much
Stop
does
it.
this man have left? I'm sorry, I'm just saying.
All right.
We're all getting older. It's not
I
just
know.
him.
Carmelo Hayes faced Kit Wilson. Um, Carmelo would end up winning. This match was booked last week for this week's SmackDown. Miz ambushed him afterwards. So this feud's continuing. And then we had Mercy Machine Guns later face the MFTs, which was Tamatanga and JC Mateo, who ended up winning. Afterwards, they attacked Mercy Machine Guns. Ray Phoenix and Shinsuke would come out to help, but ended up being overpowered. And then the final segment for SmackDown that night was Cody Rhodes and Drew McIntyre in the ring for contract signing the night before their title match. Drew didn't want to sign because he thought the contract was in Cody's favor, meaning, and specifically Cody called it out, if Rhodes got counted out or disqualified, he would keep the title. So Drew wanted that change so that Cody could lose the title if he was disqualified anyway. So Cody accepted, and then immediately after signing, McIntyre smashed Cody through the table. That gets us to Saturday night's main event.
Man, here we go.
How much of this were you able to catch?
I
Saturday
watched it all,
nights.
start to finish.
Solid 2-hour pay-per-view, I thought. Well, first off, let's get this confusion out of the way, because unless the other people don't know. So Tim went looking for it on ESPN.
Dude, I was pissed. See, this is the problem. Because look, I'm not a boomer, but like at the same time, like I like old technology. So you're making me jump back and forth between these apps. Like, oh, is it on Peacock? Is it on ESPN?
So I think because it's like an NBC, it might also come on NBC like cable wise. Because remember Saturday Night's Main Event used to like in its heyday. So I think it comes on both, and I think that's why it's still on Peacock.
I was annoyed, dude. I
Yeah.
spent like 10 minutes looking for it, and then you were like,
Yeah, you called me.
oh, well, it's not technically a premium live event. I'm like, oh, dude. See, this is the bullshit. This is bullshit.
So opening match was Cody Rhodes versus Drew McIntyre for the undisputed WWE Championship. I don't know if you pay attention to Lillian Garcia. She said it multiple times in the night because there were so many championships.
There was an awkward moment. We'll get there at the end, but Jay's trying to like fist bump her while she's like doing like an announcement, and she's like, "All right, hang on a second, let me like finish what I'm doing," and then she like finally does it.
But so yeah, this match strong opener. I did not want to see another Saturday Night's Main Event closed out by Cody Rhodes and Drew McIntyre, let alone just Cody Rhodes. But I thought it was a good way to open, especially since I haven't said who won, but since the title didn't change, Cody ended up retaining. I think it was a good way to open up the show, though. Maybe, just maybe, with our new champ, Cody's title won't be looked at as the main title anymore. But we'll see. We'll see going forward.
We'll see.
So Cody retained in the opening match. Thought it was a pretty solid opener, like I said. Next, we had Jade Cargill versus Tiffany Stratton for the WWE Women's Championship. I don't know if the winner was Jade because Tiffany was hurt, but Jade's a heel now, and she is now WWE Women's Champion, man. How do you feel about that? You and me have seen the Jade from the inception, from the pandemic days, teaming with Shaq in AEW. Dude, how do you feel about Jade being champ now?
I'm super happy for her. We've said over the years how far she's come. It's funny. We should have, poor Jeremy. He's like probably listening to this, be like, please don't make me do this. But I wish that we had an employee basically that could make us just like a compilation of all of us like growing over time of what we've said about Jade Cargill. Like it's been a slow thing over the years, but I think if you've been listening to us for a long time, we've been, pretty consistent. We're like,
Mm-hmm.
she's awesome, and I'm stoked that she finally got the title. It's big. It's big. It's a big deal.
If I'm not mistaken, because I watched, 2 days ago, you watched it. I'm pretty sure it was like a short match in which Jade kind of dominated most of the time. If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. No, I mean that's normally her style. She's kind of like a female Goldberg.
Next match, actually a really fun triple threat: Dominic versus Penta versus Rusev for the Intercontinental Championship. What are your thoughts on this, Tim? Dom ended up retaining.
Is this the Did you see the clip of the kid?
Kid doing what?
He like touches Rusev, and then Rusev like scares the shit out of him.
Let me see. It says, well, the first thing it just says it's Rusev scares the shit out of a kid.
Is there a clip? You got to see this.
Yeah, he says like, "Don't touch me."
No, watch it. Watch it.
Yeah, he throws Penta in, and then let me see. It's like, oh yeah, he like snapped.
The kid's like, ah! Dude, the kid literally like...
Good. Rusev's doing his job. But yeah, how long do you think this Dom Intercontinental Championship run goes for?
I mean, I'm not really sure, but I'm glad that they're doing something with him. I mean,
he's had it since Mania,
and he's in good.
And
shape.
He's the AAA champion.
Well, we'll see. I mean, I don't think he's gonna go all the way till like next Mania or anything. I'm thinking by like.
Do you have a feeling he's gonna be Cena's
Series.
last opponent?
Thanksgiving Survivor Series, best time of the year.
I think he's going to be seen as last opponent. I don't know how I feel about it.
I don't know. I think it's going to be Edge.
Oh my god. Anyway, let's just talk about this main event. CM Punk versus Jey Uso. Tim, talk to me.
Well, the big
Punk, was I right? It was kind of Nexus-y gear.
No, it was awesome. I thought it was a fun match overall. I'm ecstatic that Punk won. I did notice there was a spot a little weird where like
it's going around.
You've seen it, the neck breaker.
Yeah, and then Punk gives him a little receipt. Everyone's like, "This is what happens when you fuck up." Even though they're friends in real life, but
well, I mean, it was pretty bad looking. So he had to do something.
He did. Jay did a full 360 with the neck breaker, and then Punk was basically like, "What the fuck?" But Punk hit 2 GTSs for the win. I think Jay did a GTS on Punk too during the match, if I'm not mistaken. But Punk is your new World Heavyweight Champion. It's finally come true, Tim. Do you think this would have happened if Seth hadn't gotten hurt? Because I think they were supposed to face at Saturday Night's main event.
No.
Do you think Seth would have retained? Maybe Punk is just like the safe choice.
I mean, why not give it to Punk?
Yeah.
I mean, we've all been waiting.
Punk's your new champ. So, with Punk being champ, Jade Cargill is WWE Women's Champ. So Punk, Jade Cargill, Ricky Saints is the NXT champion. Mariah May, who is now Blake Monroe, is the NXT Women's North American champion. And then you have Ethan Page is the NXT North American champion. So you have 5, and Cody is the champ. So you got Cody, Punk, Ricky Saints, Jade, Ethan Page, and Blake Monroe, a.k.a. Mariah May, all champion. WWE is all elite. That's what I'm saying. And that's what's going around. The picture of like everyone together. And Punk, and I know you posted the video, Cody strapping Punk up.
Oh, yeah, I loved it. He was like, it's going to be tight. And he's like, yeah, that's just how I like him. And everybody was like, ow, ow.
So it is crazy, though. All those people are champion now.
I know. Did you see my post with the kid? Like the...
Yeah. Because I sent you the one. I sent you it, and then you added the kid onto it.
Added the kid.
Added the
old
kid.
School Tumblr head meme.
So that's it, guys. That's it for episode 191.
Well, the Forrester brothers brought it to you. It was quick. It was sweet. But we had a fun time watching the shows. Thought the pay-per-view was good. Andy, what was your favorite match of Saturday Night's Main Event?
Punk. I mean, if we're just talking wrestling-wise, I mean, the triple threat Dom, Penta, and Rusev match was fun.
Yeah, I mean, I don't mean like it necessarily. Like, what was the biggest match?
The outcome, my favorite was Punk, but like match-wise, like exciting and like kept moving was the Rusev, Penta, and Dom.
Yeah, I agree with you on both. But that was episode 191. Hopefully, Jeremy gets better, and he'll be back with us for episode 192. Thank you for listening to the BW Fan, and we will catch you next week.
Goodbye, my friend. You have been the one. You have been